Hi, so I'm going to be telling you about the importance of reading in a child's life and how to help them practice effectively. Jennifer Oliver has been a third grade reading teacher for about 10 years now. She's had many different types of students with many different types of reading skills and reading challenges. For example, one little girl had not been taught to read properly, and it showed not only in her reading but also in her writing and speech skills. She didn't know words that a third grader should have known, and she also didn't know where to begin or end a sentence. One day she went to Jennifer asking to borrow a pencil, and what should have been, "I need to borrow a pencil," came out, "I need pencil for now." And it took a while to help her learn those words that she should have known and how to put them into a sentence accurately and how to form a sentence correctly as far as punctuation goes. You see, a child should learn to read properly by the age of 7 or 8, which is 2nd or 3rd grade, according to Dr. Cynthia Zettler-Geely. And that little girl clearly hadn't been. So first, we will review the reading timeline as it should be in children before ages 1 to 7 or 8. Then we will look at the difference between children who have a good reading foundation and those who don't. And finally, we will go through some tips on how to help children with reading. Let's begin with looking into what milestones a child should reach at certain ages when it comes to reading. The following timeline is from Dr. Cynthia Zettler-Geely. Simplistic reading skills and writing skills are learned between ages 1 and 3. By age 1, a child should be reaching for books and responding when spoken to. Then between ages 1 and 3, they should be pretending to read and scribbling on paper, singing the ABCs with just a little help, and learning that writing is different from drawing. The more technical skills are learned from ages 4 to 8. When they're 4 years old, which is late preschool, children should be able to recognize some letters, write their names, and understand the method of reading, which is left to right and top to bottom, of course. Once in kindergarten, which is around age 5, children should be able to write and read some words, know some definitions, and retell the main idea of what they've read. Then between 6 and 7, which is 1st to 2nd grade, they should be able to sound out words, read familiar stories, and correct their mistakes while they're reading aloud. Finally, by 2nd or 3rd grade, which is 7 or 8 years old, the children should be able to read longer stories on their own, use correct punctuation and spelling, learning new words and using them, and understanding emotion from the text. I know that's a lot of information, so I'll sum it up. Reading is a gradual journey if done properly. Children should know how to read and write properly by the age of 7 or 8. And after age 8, the only progressing that should be needing to be done is different book levels. Next, we're going to look into just how much of a difference there is between a good reading foundation in a child's life and not having a good foundation in reading in a child's life. And if you're wondering, yes, there is a noticeable difference. According to the National Center for Education Statistics, or the NCES, children that are read to 3 to 4 times a week are 12% more likely to recognize all the letters in the alphabet than those who are not read to. This means that those children have an advantage because they're having an easier time with not only reading but writing as well. The National Education Association states that reading a lot is crucial to reading well because children practicing recognizing letters and sounds is what reading is. Also, according to the United States Department of Education, Where parent involvement is low, the average classroom reading score is 46 points below the national average. Where if parent involvement is high, the average reading score in a classroom is 28 points above the national average. That is a 74-point difference. The reading teacher previously mentioned, Jennifer Oliver, says she can notice the differences. She states that it shows in their reading, writing, and speaking. If a child talks too fast, their reading reflects it. If they don't understand how a sentence works, as in the example before, reading and writing and speaking shows. They also have positive things too, because Jennifer has seen firsthand the growth that a student can have with proper practice. She says once they grow their confidence in reading skills, their writing and speech skills will follow. Finally, let's look at some tips on how children should be helped to learn proper reading skills. Jennifer Oliver has found and used many methods. She says the biggest aspect, though, is the time put in. If a child struggles with fluidity, for example, have them slide their finger across the page. If they have problems with skipping lines, have them use a line reader which covers up words below it, and you could use a piece of paper or a ruler, something simple. She says sometimes children will get headaches while reading, so she will use a slightly colored see-through paper-like material that she'll put over the page, and it helps because it's taken away from that bright white page. Encouragement is also a very important aspect. Jennifer uses progress charts and stickers and little rewards and treasures. And she said it's also very important for you to practice with them. That ensures that they're not only actually practicing, but if they have a question, they can just ask you. Particularly challenging situations deal with dyslexic children. It takes a little more time because you have to help them do more simple things like learning to read a little faster to keep up with the average student, and help them not get frustrated while reading. So we see that helping a child learn to read is not only important, but completely doable. We have been through reading milestones, the differences in children with good reading foundation versus those without it, and we've also learned ways to help children read properly. A little boy in Jennifer Oliver's class came in and had no emotions while reading. He talked and read like a robot. By the end of the year, however, with help from Jennifer and his parents, he learned to understand the character's emotions and be able to convey those emotions as well as his own properly. Therefore, reading skills affect reading, writing, and speaking, and it's therefore very important for a child to reach those milestones in reading and have help practicing. Thank you.